really shift your temperature about 20 degrees. Condensate's building up and it's dripping down on other shit there. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me, man. Come on, you fuckers.
Is this Vegas again?
Huh?
Is this
Vegas had problems today too, but no, this is in Michigan.
Oh.
So you sent Brian to Michigan? Did you give him hazard pay?
No. It's not in a bad part of Michigan, unfortunately, or fortunately.
Okay, I need you to reevaluate that statement.
You need to take a step back there, sir. Northern Michigan is beautiful, wonderful, and they're properly armed.
You know, I'll take your word for it.
My wife was born there. All of my kids were born there. I'll own it. If I could get some land in Leelanau, I'd be a happy camper.
Okay, so we're live. Welcome back, everybody, to the Mystic Syndicate. I am your host and Dungeon Master, Brian. Thank you all very much for coming back and watching us here on episode 58 of A Princess of Celene. This is a custom content 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons stream and podcast. So welcome. Welcome back, players. It's been a couple of weeks, I think, since the last time we got a chance to hang out. But we're here this evening, and that's all that really matters. Some of you might be watching this evening from YouTube. We are actually streaming live to YouTube this evening. We are no longer streaming to Twitch. It has nothing to do, or not that Twitch has been mean to us or anything like that. It's just that we're just kind of switching formats. Do not fret. The podcast is still going to be published usually right the Saturday right after our stream. So this Saturday, I think you're going to be really, really happy because we're going to have actually 2 podcast sessions hit the airwaves out there, so to speak. We're going to have this episode of A Princess of Celene, but then we're also going to have the first episode of Dungeons and DiGiorno, which was hosted by Ed last week. So we're going to have 2 shows. Of course, The Princess of Celene is considered first season, and our second season show is going to be Ed's campaign or adventure set, whatever. But this is good. I think we're expanding our holdings here on the internet. So welcome everybody. Of course, before we get started, we always like to start with introductions, and of course, we'll start with Melinda.
Hello, Melinda. I played Brenna Babbleboot.
Audio.
Yeah, no audio.
Nope.
Now?
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Now?
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Better.
Now?
Yep.
Now? Okay.
Not now.
Here we go again.
Meow?
All right. Go that again. I'm Melinda. I played Brenna Babbleboot. No? What are you doing?
You just keep.
I haven't done anything yet. Quit bitching.
So for those people
That's
watching,
That's the problem.
So for those people watching, we're live streaming this to YouTube, which means that you get all of these strange sort of mishaps that happen when you live stream. So,
That was really loud.
oh, yeah,
That is loud.
Some feedback. or
Okay,
something.
so you can hear us now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hear Melinda. I want to
How
hear
about
Melinda.
now?
Is Melinda still Melinda Doppler effect?
Come on, Melinda.
What?
Say
What am I
something.
doing?
Say something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
No.
we can hear you.
Okay.
Dick.
Third time's the charm, right?
All right. Try again, love.
All right. Wow. I'm Melinda. I play Grenna. I have a pet bear. Moving on.
I'm Mike. I play Kiffy, a dwarven cleric of Fortubo.
I'm Ed, and I play Lord Ambassador Tomas Waverly, and tonight's drunkenness is brought to you by Four Loco.
Hello, I'm Pav. I play a human paladin of Heronius named Kelix Celene.
I'm Russ. I play Yarngun Mertofanamathar Haldoshin, who is a fire mage.
And I am Timbal Snibbenblaven, a artist, well practiced in the arts. I do what I can with these boys. And
He does great interpretive dancing.
Okay, wonderful. All right, interpretive dance. Yeah. Alrighty. So to kind of refresh our memories from last time, you all had been at the Armistice meeting, which took place in the city of Pelik, which is located in Bissell. There had been a situation with the Exalted Lady, Saye Al-Khatib, who was found dead along the road. And it seems as though there was a person or persons impersonating her at the actual meeting. The real Saye had actually been dead for a few days. And so the mystery kind of thickens around that. Another strange thing that also occurred while you were in Pelik was the engagement ring for that Kelix was going to be giving to his love Melda before she passed away had made an appearance in one of the hallways, one of the alcoves, and in the city of Pelik. No one knows how this ring had got there, but a curse had been placed upon it. The last time anyone saw this ring before it was found in Pelik was that it had been turned over to the Queen Yolanda of Celene, who was Melda's mother. It was supposed to be used in a art display showing the love and care that was shared between Kelix and Melda, which was unfortunately cut short by a drow assassin who slayed the young princess. And so I believe this is kind of where we picked up from last time. Did anybody have any questions or had anything to add that I may have missed?
I have an observation.
Of course.
Do you have a chart where you just roll to fuck with us? Or
I think we make our own pain.
No, he's
a combination of both.
Got something going on. He will throw us bait from time to time.
Okay, Russ, to be completely honest, a lot of times I just come up with this stuff usually on the spur of the moment. There's a lot of times I'll listen to the podcast on my way to work or coming home from work. So it gives me time to reflect on what we've done. And every once in a while, like the thing with the ring. I could go into, but I don't want to give away anything. There's so much more to it. But,
of course.
But a lot of these things I just throw out there, and it's kind of like you throw spaghetti at a wall. If it sticks, there you go. And so I kind of do that.
He may listen to it sometimes and go, "The bastards! I'm going to get him on the next one. I'm going to do this."
No, I try, and I've always tried not to be a vindictive DM. I know there's some DMs out there who can be. I'm not that guy. I really enjoy it when you guys win. when you get a win or something like that. But I also like to see a little chaos. I also like to see confusion.
That explains why you came with us.
Right. So the last time I believe that we left off, I can't remember if you guys were getting ready to return to Celene, or I believe you were still in Pellic, I believe.
Yeah, we were still in Pellic.
Okay.
I was in my tower, and everybody else went to do something else.
That is true. That's right, because you actually had the ring stored, I believe, in an extra dimensional space.
Yep.
And everybody is looking for you, but you have decided to sequester yourself within your tower.
Correct.
Yes. So that is where we're going to pick up from last week. Yes.
And if I recall, there were a couple of characters that were angry about that.
Yes.
There were some people who were a little bit unpleased, but I'll leave that to you guys.
I'm still trying to go through the wall.
He can't. He sees the doors as the door.
No, I thought I already went through the wall and told him that we were waiting for him.
No,
Did I not?
no. The members of the party, the guards and wards don't have an effect on.
No, that isn't what I said. I said I thought I had gone into your tower, and I had told you that we were having a meeting and waiting.
I don't remember that.
Okay, I may have been wrong.
I do remember being there with a pickaxe trying to go through the wall.
Yeah, but there's really no reason for you to, because the words and things that were set up, the protections that were set up by Yarn, did not affect members of the party.
When a very angry gnome is just pissed, the act of going through the wall is starting to calm me.
I still don't know what you're pissed about.
Yes, you do.
An upset gnome, is that like an upset chick?
You made a couple of decisions for the party without talking to us about the ring, where
Yes.
you were going to do it, and what you were doing with it, and you just
Did it?
ran with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a reason for
And
that.
didn't you give us a big lecture on not doing that, like twice? Love you too.
Use
I
those
Looks
those
complaining
damn
about the ring right now. So.
to explain it.
No.
I'm back to digging through the wall.
Are you singing a little song while you're digging through the wall, Timble?
I hope.
I hope.
Sure. If it'll make it actually talk.
That's when Kiffy comes around the corner and gets kind of upset. It's like
Cultural appropriation.
Yeah, it's cultural appropriation. How dare you? That would be funny.
I'm going to cancel you.
You're gonna get canceled. Oh boy.
If I get
A quick question for you, Brian. After my rest, I had 2 levels of exhaustion. Do I get all of them? Is it completely clear, or do I just get 1 back?
No. You're clear. You're good. The sleep you receive is one of extreme exhaustion, so you don't dream. It's just it would almost be kind of in the case of almost being like a pre-coma situation. You hadn't slept in a long time. You were really hurting. So when your head finally hit the pillow, you were out. It would have taken a lot to have woke you up.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so getting back to the Yarn Timble debacle, or whatever you want to call it. So Yarn, from what you told me, is that he should be able to see the door, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, but so Timble, why are you still persisting with the pickaxe?
I was under the impression that the door was locked, that he said he locked it. So
I did lock it for everybody except members of the party.
Right.
They're also disguised, so you can't see them. But you can see them because you're a member of the party.
and because I'm angry, I need to work it out. Because I don't want to work it out on your. I do on your body, but I can't.
I have to tell you, I'm really not into that.
Okay, so now I understand. The reason you're going about it the difficult way is because it's an anger issue. Okay, I completely get that. So Yarn, as you were up in your tower doing whatever that you were planning on doing, you can hear that there is something going on downstairs. It sounds as though metal hitting stone over and over, and it's very rhythmic. It has a cadence. So it's not like it's just some sort of blindness. It's, some blind fury. It's a person who is focused. But of course, you're not really too sure who it is.
We care. I mean, this is something the guards should be taking care of.
If I see Timble, Tomas will go up behind him and start playing. We can work it out. We can work it out.
And that's when Timble turns and buries that pickaxe in your skull. Or in a foot. That would be fun.
Any stone that comes out that I'm digging, I'm going to start throwing it over my shoulder in his direction and go back to digging. I'll get one out, throw.
Okay.
If he's going to do songs like that. I prefer whip it good.
Okay. So from what I gather, the rest of the party. Let's set the scene here, because I believe this was going on while Kellex decided to go retire. So really, who is actually with Timble at this time? Is it just Timble and Tomas?
When I walked off, I was alone.
Okay.
And I went and borrowed the digging equipment. I went to borrow the digging equipment from various smithies.
Right. That's right. Okay. Yeah. So I believe everybody else is not there. Okay. So, alrighty. So the way this kind of looks, it will probably take you at least a good solid hour to break through this tower wall at the rate that you're going.
All right.
So all the while that this is going on, I need Yarn. I would like for you to make a Constitution save. Okay, so you rolled a 6. Okay, so this rhythmic pounding on the wall is becoming it's becoming quite annoying to a point where you are really, it's frustrating. You can't really concentrate on anything that you were doing. Any studies that you were taking upon yourself is now at this point in time, you're like, whoever that is, so help me God. It's gonna be fireball time any moment. That is your level of frustration at this time.
Oh,
So he's thinking to himself, Lord, how long can this go on? Working in a coal mine, going downtown, working in a coal mine.
But back
I want to sit down.
Ed, what did you do with the money?
Drank it.
Very good.
If I actually get through and I start seeing light, rather than opening it up I think I'm going to start going sideways.
Okay. Going sideways. All right. Okay, wait. So you're tunneling in, but then once you break through, you're going to start like tearing out the side of it. Holy shit. Okay. Well, that's a little extreme.
I'm angry.
I'm still wondering where the hell the guards are.
Well,
I am the Eye Wizard of Pellic.
Yeah.
Somebody is attacking my tower. Where the hell are the guards?
Yeah, but the guards also realize that this is the former chancellor, and he seems to have, they don't seem to be too concerned. They kind of feel that this is probably a personal matter between
It's an internal
the former chancellor and his good friend, the High Mage.
Oh.
Okay, so Timble, I need you to also make me a Constitution save. Damn. Okay, so alrighty, you at this point in time have just decided, no matter what happens, you are going to do whatever you possibly can to either bring this tower down around you. Even the blisters, because you have to think, you're an artist. You're not much of a person who has wielded a pickaxe and probably ever. So the blisters that have formed upon your hands at this point in time have now broken, and the handle is just a mixture of water and blood. But because of your Constitution save, you just don't care. As it just goes, it just seems that your rage is increasing, which
just wait.
is kind of weird because usually you're so even keeled.
But in my mind, it's probably now not about him when I'm digging. It's about all the little shit we had to fix and go through. All that stuff.
Okay.
So then it becomes a bigger deal for me.
Honestly, we had more crap to deal with because of Thomas, not you.
Yeah. So anyway, I take a rock.
Okay.
I cast Magic Mouth.
Okay.
It's going to say bugger off in a booming, loud-ass voice. And it will repeat as long as there's anybody beating on my wall.
Okay, so Timble, as you're standing there, chipping away slowly at the wall, this pebble falls down from above. A magic mouth appears on this stone, and in a very loud booming voice, it says "bugger off," and it keeps repeating it. It just seems to be incessant. It just keeps going. Bugger off. Bugger off.
I'm going to
bugger
around.
Off.
Is there an urchin nearby? An urchin. Some street kid watching.
Not inside the castle walls. But I mean, there are guards there watching you as you're just kind of shaking their head and every once in a while offering you like wraps to wrap your hand with, but at this point in time you're not having it. Okay, so one of them comes over to you.
I'm going to go to him and I'm going to say, could you put this at the gates of the inner castle? Drop it off there, and here's a gold for your troubles, but just kind of put it there.
Okay. He looks at you kind of puzzled and said, so you want this at the castle gate, or do you want this at the front door?
Oh my, what an option.
Because when you said inner
I'll put it at the gate. I will put
Okay.
it there.
Okay, so at the outer gate. Okay, so the actual gate, the walled gate. Okay. So he picks up the rock as it continues to keep going on and bugger off, bugger off, bugger off. Yarn, you hear your rock, but it seems to be getting further away now, like somebody is actually taking it and is walking off with it. But you can still hear the sound of a pickaxe slamming into the masonry, which is the base of your tower.
Okay, now we have to talk about the mechanics of the spell.
Okay.
The trigger for the spell is the pickaxe hitting the wall.
Okay.
Okay?
So once it gets out of earshot, it turns off?
I don't know. That's where I'm, because it doesn't have a range. The range is 30 feet.
Oh. Huh. Well, that is kind of interesting. So the range is 30 feet.
How tall is the tower?
Oh, the tower is closer to about, well, it's probably a little, like right around 30 feet. Yeah. It's about 3 stories.
It's 3 stories?
Yeah. 10 feet each story, I would think. I think that's normally how they do it.
9-foot ceilings, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to think this tower has like a winding staircase thing, which is like what you see in like lighthouses and stuff. Yeah.
I could have just taken it and thrown it.
If you're smart, Tim, start at the bottom. Knock out the bottom, the whole thing falls.
That's actually what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm felling a tree.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to take you probably several hours, maybe even a solid day to actually create an issue where it would be unstable. But, yeah. But like I said, you have rage on your side, so hey. Blind rage.
I'm going to have to take a level of barbarian. Anti-masonry barbarians. They're out there. Probably dwarves.
Okay. Well, that would certainly do it. Okay. So, well, I guess you guys continue this.
I got nothing. I'm ignoring it. This is all on him.
Okay.
All on me.
It is. This is your action. This is not my action.
I might get a little boost of energy from that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, is it your intent to continue doing this through the night? So I can award you exhaustion.
Con checking.
See, I want to roll that, but
okay, so yeah, I mean, you have to kind of think. It's been, you've had a full day, and now you've probably went well past midnight with this, with your excavations of Yarn's mage tower, and you now have a point of exhaustion. So you're starting to kind of wear down. You're still angry, but
I'm going to ask one of the guards, could you bring me a cot?
They said, of course, your lordship, we'd be happy to. And so they run off and are able to find you sort of like a smallish sort of a bed, perfect for you. And they just set it up there in the hallway there outside of the mage tower, actually kind of like near the hole that you've created.
It's a single. It seemed like a king.
What was that?
Guys are stepping all over each other tonight.
It's a single bed. Should seem like a king.
Sure. Well, I will set up there with my pickaxe in hands, holding it here, and go to sleep.
Okay. So a little bit after midnight, Yarn, you realize that the pounding on the walls outside has stopped.
Good. I go to bed.
Yeah. So the rest of you are in bed sleeping. As I said with Kellex, you have a dreamless, exhaustion fueled sleep. The rest of you have sleeps that are not too bad, but if there is something that you feel that you may have dreamt about, feel free to share what you might have or what you feel that you may have experienced in your slumber. Or not. Okay, fine.
Do I have a good sound sleep?
Okay, so that's fine. So yeah, Timble, you wake the next morning and your hands are raw and blister. The blisters had been flattened by the continued use, but your hands hurt. They're very. It's very painful, even to just kind of just flex and grip. And you realize that once these heal up, your hands are not going to have that baby softness that you had for a really a pretty long time. Yarn, you wake up, kind of stretch, look around. You hear nothing. You're kind of you feel that everything must be right with the world. But you can actually hear noises coming up from the bottom. So obviously, whoever they were, they had broke through the wall significantly enough that you can hear outside sounds. Kellex, you arise, wiping the sleep from your eyes, getting dressed, getting ready to start your day, knowing that most likely you will have to return once again to Celene. Tomas? I'm sorry?
After I get up, I repeat the guards and wards.
Okay.
With the same criteria.
Okay. Cool. Very good.
It only lasts 24 hours.
Very good. Temple, what'd you have?
I'm going to ask the guards if they can find me an ointment for my hands and a pair of gloves.
Sure. Yeah. They
in the meanwhile, you know where to find me.
Okay.
Me and my axe, I think I'll call him Joe. We're going to go back over there and see how far we can get. I know that I know physical labor a little, but you just go back to it and then it stops hurting.
Okay.
We should go down regulation.
A true glutton for punishment. Nice. Alrighty. So yeah, Tomas, you rise, get dressed, prepare yourself for another day. Kind of sticking in the back of your mind, though, is that after the conversation that you had with the freeholder, the gentleman who was in charge of the yeomanry, you still kind of yearn for the possibility of making your way back to Greyhawk so that you could possibly meet up with your family and see exactly what is going on. But you kind of had this sinking feeling that life has other plans for you this day.
I would just like to point out that I appreciate, Brian, that you used me to bring some normalcy back to the campaign just now.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
It was bound to happen, I guess.
That fucking never happens.
Well, I think you're just
You know, at one point we were going to go outfit a ship in Yarn's land.
Yeah, that is true.
And we could probably get a pretty good ship to go to Yarn's land from Greyhawk. And
Yeah.
I'll send a page around and say, I'll call a page and say, could you do me a favor and please send word to all the other members of the Guardians of Greyhawk, and perhaps they'll have breakfast with me so we can discuss our plans.
Okay. Yeah. So one of the pages who helps valets and stuff like that help get people dressed and help people rise. Yeah, they're able to do that for you. Kiffy, your night was kind of interesting. You fell asleep. Things you weren't really tired. Yeah, I mean you had a little bit to drink at the gala after the armistice meeting. But one thing that kept kind of sticking in your mind was that it was more not really a dream, but a vision. And the thing that you saw was very, very interesting. Was that you saw the ring that Kellix had for Melda, and you saw that it was in the tea room there in the castle of Celene, where the queen takes her tea with her family every so often. But the one thing that you saw in this vision was you didn't see the face of the person. That's something that you've noticed about your dreams. It's the only time that you've ever actually seen faces is if it's someone that is close to you, or it is it's the gods themselves. Moradin, and of course the god that you follow as well. So I can't remember names this evening, so don't know why. I'm losing my mind. No, okay.
Small loss.
Yeah, slow.
It's wandering about the house.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So, yeah. So, yeah, that is, as you were looking at this ring, the ring is sitting there on the table where the queen would usually sit, and you see a pale, sort of wrinkled hand reach and grab it. It is human, or it looks humanoid, but it's, like I said, very pale and very wrinkled. And that's kind of where then it kind of trails off. Your dreams get pop back and forth to the mountain kingdom that you come from. Sometimes you see faces of your family, but that is the one thing that kind of sticks out of your sleep, is that one thing with the ring.
Well, that's kind of disturbing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Grenna, as you awake, you also had a strange dream. Very, 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 very odd, but you almost kind of feel that it was something more prophetic than than just a simple dream. There, you in your dream, you see a tree, a very, very large tree, very much like the life tree in Celene, but you can see that it is almost completely devoid of leaves. It looks like it is almost dead. And as you approach it, you can feel the ground beneath your feet pulsing like that of a heartbeat. And as you reach out and you touch the tree, your hand goes into the tree like there's a void there. But then just as you feel that you were trying to pull back, the tree actually traps your hand there and starts to pull you in to it. And you wake up just dripping with sweat, and you're almost on the verge of a scream. And that's the dream that you had.
Huh.
Did I have a particular dream, or was mine more the urge to get going after
yours was
thinking about going to Greyhawk?
Yeah, yours was more. You had a very good sleep. It was the dreams you had were nothing impressive, but when you woke, you just had this feeling, this yearning that that you really needed that connection. And that is something that you haven't had in a long time. Letters just don't seem to do it justice. So,
is there music going on in the background going, ooh, me so horny, ooh, me so horny?
No, not actually.
Oh,
How you come up with this stuff, I don't understand, but okay.
this is the things that are bouncing around in his head all the time.
I don't say all the stuff that bounces around in my head.
I saw a video the other day. I always thought to compare my mind to two cats with their tails tied together, and you throw them over a clothesline. Somebody had taken two drills and hooked them together, and then turned them both on so they were competing against each other, and they're running like that until they destroyed each other. It was more like that. So,
I just consider it a pinball machine. I never know where you're going to hit.
Okay. Well, that was beautiful. So Timble, as you are sitting there chiseling away at the wall, you hear a very familiar voice kind of ring out behind you. It says, you hear the voice of Yarn standing behind you, and it says, "Hey, what's up?"
Probably want to be something Bexley.
I thought about that.
You can see you can see that he is holding a piece of he's got an apple in his hand as he just kind of bites into it as he asks the question. He looks
I toss him one as well.
He looks very well rested.
You toss me an apple.
Yep.
I move aside.
Okay.
We need to talk.
The apple explodes. That's the end of the yard.
We need to talk.
Okay.
You did not explain to us why you took the ring.
Yes, I did.
Hit it.
Yes, I did. I told you.
No.
Yeah, I did. Listen to me. I told you. This is the safest place to put it. We'll put it here until we can deal with it, because it is cursed. If it's in an extra-dimensional space, nobody has to worry about the curse. And we don't want to show it to Dingbat. Yeah, him. Before we've talked about it with everybody else.
You didn't really talk about it to everybody else. You made a decision, put it away. And
Absolutely.
when
because it's magical. It has a curse on it.
Yeah, we sure as fuck haven't dealt with magical. Gee, magical things are all around us. Have been. We were asking about that, and you refused. Now, since it took that to get your attention, you know what really
Well,
this is.
not really.
I made some decisions for us, and you called me on it.
Absolutely.
Exactly, you did. You might want to look in the fucking mirror.
You know, as you are, and I sit there and I think about it. I can see your point.
Unfortunately, there are rules within this game, because I would really show him a point. I would. But so are you going? And are you going to allow us to see it if we need to?
Absolutely.
Swear on
Did
it,
you think
man.
I was? Whoa! Did you think I was stealing from the party?
I did not think you were stealing from the party. I think
Have I
you were
ever
being
stole anything before at
I
all?
thought you were being an arrogant bastard who decided he knew best, without
In this
really,
case, I did.
Oh, my Lord.
really, without.
Yeah.
I missed that last.
Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya.
I missed that last. I didn't hear it. Seriously, repeat.
You didn't really give us a chance to talk. You made the decision.
Yes,
And then
sometimes,
I'm going to bed.
sometimes
Andy
you
Tower.
need to make immediate decisions. I felt that it was, in this case, one of those times where I needed to make an immediate decision. Therefore, I made an immediate decision to put this thing in a place where it can't hurt us. We have access to it. I'm failing to see what the big issue is. You've done it many times.
And I've been called on it. And this is
Not every time.
But the point is here, you know, we want to look at it and see a few things about it. I mean, it's just simple.
Sure. But it was midnight. It was midnight.
You were being a dick.
Fine. I was being a dick. In similar situations, I will be a dick. However, most of us got a decent night's sleep. We are now refreshed and ready to look at it. And we still have access to the goddamn thing.
I like my cut. No, we never did have access to it. You put it in there, put it away. When it was asked to see, you left.
You really can't take it when somebody else makes a decision, can you?
I can.
Evidently not.
Oh, no, I can.
I'd like to propose we head straight to Greyhawk.
I expected better of you.
I am so sorry to have disappointed.
You got to patch your wall. And I'm going to the because I grabbed two and a few other little tools, and I'm going to go to the smithy. I know they're there, probably upset. I'll return goods except for the hammer or the mattock, and I'm going to buy that since it's probably got some damage to it.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be too usable. You're right. Okay.
And I will pay for it. Simple enough. I do not know if we had something planned to do today. I was rather in a different headspace.
Evidently.
Not talking to you, jackass.
Breathe with me. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2. Out. 1, 2, 3, 5.
No.
Get your shoulders out of your ears.
Oh boy.
Okay, well that was fun. So what are we doing now?
Okay, so the rest of you have found your way downstairs, and you're eating breakfast in the sort of the chow hall. So to any probably a better description of it. But it's a more a better. It's better than just your regular sort of place.
So it's a dining facility.
It's a dining facility. Yeah, it's not. It's not a.
Is it an Air Force dining facility?
Well, it would probably be. Yeah, it would probably be very, very similar. Yeah, I mean the food's probably much better. You're not going to be eating out of what are those green thermite cans or something like that with the green eggs.
Thermite.
Yeah.
I have eaten at a Marines dining facility. I'm sorry, that's still the best food I've had. Wow.
I ate a naval facility, and I got steak. I got all the wonderful stuff. The desserts were fantastic. All I can say is 4th Brigade chow. Yeah, I got cottage cheese from the milk dispenser. So there's a bit of difference between.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds pretty bad. Okay, well, good. But yeah, the rest of you are eating. The Margrave, Sir Timothy Truelight, joins you, and says so. Well, it looks like we have another day of diplomacy ahead of us. Now that we know of the situation with the Exalted Lady, at least we have it on good standing that at least our war with the cat is over. We shall see what happens with the Empire of Zyph. I know that you all have other things that you must be getting to. So please do not let us keep you any further. And I know that there is other fires to be put out throughout the Flanness, and I know that you all have your irons in them. So but thank you all very much for coming.
I'll be heading towards
Keller. He's actually eating quite well. Everybody's noticed he's looking a lot better. Looks like he's gotten some good sleep. His armor is polished. It's probably been better in the last few days. And he's sitting there eating away. He said, "That's a good point. What is our next step? What are we doing next?" Nope.
So I would propose that we go to Greyhawk. Oh, go ahead, Mike. Mike is he's the A student that raises his hand periodically.
Well, because you guys won't shut the hell up.
You ain't wrong.
So Kippy is really on edge, and he is anxiously waiting for Yarn to appear. And as soon as Yarn appears, he's going to ask him, is it secret? Is it safe? And
More so than members of the party would care to hear about.
Once we're all together, I'll relate the vision that I had, and I am rather concerned about the implications.
So, your description of the hand was pale and aged humanoid.
Yeah, like it was, I would say, wizened and wrinkly, and maybe kind of had undertones of the undead.
And you mentioned the ring as part of your story?
Yes.
Okay.
And we tell you, we have the ring. We found it wherever we found it last night.
Wait a minute.
Well,
Elda's ring?
in my vision, someone
Elda's ring.
was wearing it in the royal audience chamber, so
We found it.
How did we... Where?
Wherever it was, we found it. I don't remember.
Okay. In that antechamber. It was that antechamber where it was on a little like
It was next
podium
to-
or something like that.
It was next to a plant. It was hidden from
Yeah.
view. But yeah, we found it, Timble and I. And I kept it. I took it and put it in a safe place. And apparently that was a cause of consternation. But
And you explained why you put it in a safe place?
absolutely,
Okay.
because it's cursed, and we didn't want it to affect any of the party members.
When has
Actually,
a curse ever affected any of us?
When you were born, man, when you were born.
So
Hey,
yeah,
Brian.
so Kellix's face after hearing this does fall a little bit. And are you sure? Are you sure it's her ring? I mean, I left it her
Yeah,
grave.
watch. I zap it. I pull it out. Wearing a pair of gloves, which are on my character sheet. Damn it! No, what? The pliers. I use the pliers.
Okay.
You already used the pliers. They're a one-use item.
Okay, so yeah, as you call forth the, I believe it's a chest, a magic chest that you have it in. You reach in with this pair of pliers, and he pulls forth the ring, and he shows it to you, Calyx. And indeed, it looks exactly like the ring that you had taken from the Dragon Horde that you were intending to give to Melda. Temple, do you have a question?
He almost reaches for it, but he does stop himself.
Okay,
I'm,
that's good.
I'm tucking into a lot of food. It was a long, I don't know, day, or night. So
well,
I
most
went
villagers
to
after they have a ginger tea eat a lot.
What was that?
Say it again.
I said most toddlers after they have a temper tantrum tend to eat a lot.
I'm not gonna lie. I swear to God, it sounded like she said tend to beat off.
There are two decisions here.
You know, just because there's the word toddlers with that, yeah, no.
What decisions, Temple?
What decisions?
Yes. You
Oh,
made a statement.
eat a lot or go drink a lot.
Oh, okay. So, are you satisfied with seeing the ring? Kellix?
And you are sure, and you sure it's cursed, and you have absolutely no idea how it got here.
No, I have no idea. None.
Okay, I'm just assuming since you're the magic user, I thought maybe you would,
Well,
he's a divine guy. He doesn't understand the whole.
Cursed. Just got the fact that he's cursed.
He only does fireballs. And I'll go back to you.
And Kiffy, you said in your dream you saw this ring at a table in the court of Celene.
it was being worn by someone I don't recognize.
It wasn't actually being worn. It was sitting on a table that was. You've seen.
I'm sorry, you guys. For some reason, you keep dropping in and out for me. I'm going to restart my computer. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. So Kiffy, what the situation was? The ring itself was actually sitting on the table that sits next to the queen when she takes tea, and that was the last time that any of anyone had seen it, the temple had actually seen it, was when it was handed over to Yolanda. So that's all you saw. But then you saw the very wrinkled and pale hand of the whoever it was take the ring from the table. And of course, from what you were able to take, the hand did not look like that of a drow. Their hands, it probably would have been darker in color. This one was almost kind of like a fish white with very, very deep creases. So, yeah, that's what you see.
Out of character, was it a normal size hand or maybe a kinder size hand?
Nope, it was just a regular human sized hand. So, Pav, do you think you're good? Oh, looks like his camera's frozen.
Yeah.
It must have been his.
He
Must have
He's
been
rebooted.
right when he rebooted. That's awesome. Alrighty. But yeah, that's what you saw, Kiffy, so that kind of helps a little bit.
I put the ring back in the chest and dismiss it. The chest.
Real quick, can I place it on the table and can I do any type of investigation, arcana, maybe
Sure.
a history to try and tell if, what kind of dweemers are on it?
You can.
I'm going to use my worst, which will be investigation. So just to be
Okay.
man, dropped out.
I'll be right back.
You'll be back.
That fucking ring's not cursed. What are you talking about?
Why don't you put it on?
Do you really
Okay.
want that?
Brian,
Yes.
while I'm eating, I pull out a piece of vellum and I start painting. As I remember the original ring that was given, I will paint that just to see if it matches the other one that we have.
Okay.
I want to see if a duplicate was made or that.
Yeah.
I know I never looked and saw a jeweler's mark or anything in the band, but so I can't do that far.
Yeah.
But
okay. Yeah. No. You take some time to as you sit there with your you sketch it out and then you start to fill in with the coloration and the shading and everything that you normally would do. And by the time that you're done, you have a really good, but you are taking your subject from memories that.
to which then I will talk to Kellix
Okay.
and see if, what else is there? How was this when you gave it to her? To her.
I had that's the thing. I never was ever given. I never had the chance to give it to her before.
Oh, but is this? I'm trying to recreate what exactly the ring was that you had, and if I do that, then we can, look at the one that we have in all the little boxes. Just comparing it to the one that Yarn has, just to see if possibly a duplicate was made, if there's some little slight differences.
So what you were able to, Kellix, because remember the last time that you actually saw it before this time, before Yarn pulled it from the box, was when you placed it upon Melda's, the actual sarcophagus that she is laid in up on top of the mountain. So that was the last time you saw the ring until Yarn pulled it from the box.
When I look at it, do I get a sense that it's actually the ring? Do I?
Yeah.
I feel like it's the one that I give. Okay.
Yeah. Without actually physically touching it, just by look, it looks like the ring that you had intended to give to Melda.
I'm afraid, Timble, and it looks like the ring.
Well,
I don't know how to explain it.
Sure.
It's just.
would you like this painting?
I would be honored. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
No, it's yours.
But you can see his mind is like it's just all a jumble right now. All the stuff that's just been going on, and I think we need to make our way back to Celene.
Back in the box.
You see him watch the ring as he puts it back in there, and the box disappears, and he just stares at that spot.
Okay.
I know our intentions was to finally make it way to Yarn's homeland, but I feel that we need to go back to Celene.
Yeah, but our welcome at Celene has ended.
What makes you say that?
What the Queen said. I think that we're no longer respected guests there.
Well, then we can do our usual thing.
End up in jail?
Get out of there easy. I'm thinking about, going through the grandmother. I don't think she threw away any trust of us. And we talk to her about what's going on. And if we do that, clearly there's an interest still with
Okay.
Celene.
What? All right, let's all talk about what paths are open to us right now. Okay. We are looking at the life tree and the evil opposite of the life tree. Okay. What?
Based on the dream I had, we might want to step up our timetable to get to the tree.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
There's also Sintasha. I know that related to anything to do with us there. However, the other small princess, that was part of the vision, which was the queen. Was the queen there when she saw the vision? So I know she was probably very upset with the loss of Melda. However, I think she would be willing to see us if we believe that her remaining daughter could be in danger.
So, is it the consensus that we need to look at the Sintaisha thing? Consensus. That means everybody says something?
Yeah. From Kippy's perspective, the life tree is a lot more important to the world at large than the royal family of Celene.
However, we have to have the royal family of Celene on our side when we go to fix the life tree, right?
Why?
Because we have to take what's her name?
Part of the prophecy. It was part. She was part of the prophecy.
I have a feeling that if she's supposed to be there, she's going to be there whether we go to Celene or not.
You believe in fate? Is that what I'm hearing, Brenna?
That's the trade-off between Deus Ex Machina and free will.
I'm just saying, we know that she we suspect, not know, we suspect that she goes and does things that she's not supposed to in disguise. We don't have time to go traipsing back to Celene or anything like that because we are running out of time to deal with this tree. If she is supposed to be there, she will be there. Because I tell you, the queen is not going to let her daughter out of her sight after Melda's death. Because she only has her son and her daughter left.
Brian.
Yes.
Going back to Moradin's, the dream in Moradin's cathedral, or whatever it was.
Okay.
You remember that?
So I believe that was the Temple of Celestian. That was, or you're going all the way further back. You're going all the way back to
when we rescued the
Kodal Keep. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Keep going.
All right. I had a vision.
Yes, you did.
I was piloting a ship with an unknown flag.
Yes, but you now know what the flag is.
It's the Royal House of Celene.
Bingo.
In that vision, did I see any other people on deck?
Not at the time. You did not see anyone else on deck. It was just you.
Okay.
You were at the wheel, and the storm that was going on around you was so terrible that you had lashed the wheel to the railings. The sails were brought down so that it would not destroy the masts. And you yourself had tied yourself to the wheel so you would not get bucked off of the ship. That is what you remember most, other than the gigantic eye of a creature that was staring at you from the waves. And that was where you were at.
Lightning bolt.
It works too. Yeah. But that was your dream. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll reiterate that dream to the party.
Okay.
Yes, Tim.
I'll tell you. Oh, go ahead, Timmel.
Well, my thoughts here are if we're not going to go there, I need to go to the embassy. The embassy for Celene. And I will need to write some diplomatic letters.
Why do you have to be at the embassy to do diplomatic letters?
Because I want them to deliver. Celene delivering to Celene. It's probably the safest. But I will put in there all of the information that we know about this ring, about what's going on. I'll send one to Val and one to Shira. And ask them to use their best judgment in passing that information along to Yolanda.
Okay. So to remind everybody that Queen Yolanda and Prince Val are still in Pelik. They actually spent the night there, as did several others. And they were planning on leaving this afternoon. So they are actually still in Pelik. Just as a quick reminder.
Where exactly are we? Where are we?
You guys are right now in the dining facility deep within Castle Oversight in Pelik.
This whole time I thought we were in Greyhawk.
No.
No, that's where we want to go.
I even have the map.
That's where you want to go.
I have Greyhawk's map pulled up. Well, then I think we need to go over and talk with Queen Yolanda and Val and give them this information.
Agreed.
Okay. So after you clean your plates and the wait staff comes around and picks everything up, you adjourn and start to make your way through the castle. Probably you're most likely looking for the throne room itself. You can see that there are people still milling around. You kind of figured they were visitors from the night before. And they are here to obviously say goodbyes, give well wishes to the Margrave, and
Snoop.
and yeah, and just kind of feel out how things went. Now, a lot of people, well, I would say only you all know about the situation with the Exalted Lady. No one else knows. The only people who actually know are you, the Margrave, the Ila Alzar, the Empress of Ket, and Raven. Those are the only people who really know what's going on here.
So they did not inform Yolanda.
Inform who?
Yolanda.
No, Yolanda was not actually. It was a need to know basis, and they kind of felt that she was not in the loop, so to speak. It's not the same with like Queen Zion or pretty much any of the other people. They just kept it kind of hush hush just between you guys because they Timothy knows you, he trusts you, and also Yarn because you are the high mage, the wizard here. So yeah, that would. Okay.
Yay.
All right. So yeah, as you approach the doors, the guards stand to and open them for you. As you walk in, you can see that the throne room area where the court is held is actually pretty packed full of people. There's a lot of people who are here. Yeah, you see dignitaries, you see these leaders from other countries, the allies. You do not see the Empress, Ila Alzar. She is not here. But you do see, of course, others. You do see Queen Yolanda and Prince Val, who is standing off to the side, seems to be in conversation with Queen Zion of the Vesvi and her cousin Sylvia. So those elves sticking together, so to speak.
They're elitists.
Well, carefully walk up to Yolanda and say, "Excuse me, I hate for interrupting your conversation." And I'll bow to both of the queens and say, "Might we have a word in private, Queen Yolanda?"
She looks and says, yes, Master Temple, I believe I can spare some time. She looks over at Zan and Sylvia and says, well, cousins, if you do not mind, I am going to I will be back soon.
I will shake the hand of Sylvia before we leave and greet him and move forward.
Once again, he flashes that smile, takes your hand and shakes it and says, it's good to see you again, Master Temple. You see that the Queen Zan is... you don't really know her that well. I mean, you've only briefly seen her, but she just doesn't really seem to pay much mind to your group, and she turns and starts to talk with Val. But you lead Yolanda off to the side, and you're able to find one of those spare, like a small conference room.
Quiet.
Yeah. She turns once the door is shut and says, what is it that you have for me? Yes?
Russ.
I pull the box.
Okay. She
Gloves, pliers, open it, pull it out. I said, "You recognize this?"
she looks at it. She does not reach out to touch it. She can see by the security measures that you've taken. She kind of steps back a moment and she says, she looks at you, Kellix, and says, Lord Kellix, is this not the ring that you were supposed to give my... And you kind of see her kind of falter there for a moment before she says daughter. And she just gets very silent and said it.
I'm afraid so, Your Majesty.
Why is it here? She looks
We
at
found
you.
it last night.
She looks at you,
We found it
Tibble,
last night.
and says, I mean,
It was found
yes,
in a hallway near here, tucked, just laying there by a plant.
that doesn't make any sense. Okay, you can see she's completely puzzled. Said that there were supposed to be artisans who were supposed to pick it up. They were supposed to actually pick it up right before we left for Pelik. You see she kind of trails off. She's kind of thinking about it. It's like, I know that you gave it to me in the tea room, and I had instructed my handmaidens to make sure that it was picked up properly.
Well, it has had that a curse laying upon it, and there's only one individual that we know of who's just after us, all of us.
So do you believe
she killed someone and impersonated them, and in doing so violates the treaty, nullifies it.
So do you believe that Santaisha did this?
Not Santaisha, perhaps the one who hooked her, perhaps. Because I think there's a great big circle here. And the Drow are working very, very hard to make the surface world there.
Master Tiffy had a vision last night of the ring.
Yes, I had a vision of it being taken from your table, and I'll describe the hand that took it.
As you describe the hand to her, she says, well, that definitely does not sound like it is the hand of a drow. Usually
No.
They're darker complected.
I'm thinking originally I thought it was Adra that started doing all this.
Yes.
But now I'm wondering if it's Santaisha and those around her. Because
Well,
I feel Santaisha is trapped. I feel she is not. She is not. She's not in control of what she's doing, and she's trapped in that manner.
She looks to you, Kiffy, and says, was there anything else that you remember? Or was that completely it? Was there anything else that you've seen? She looks around to all of you and says, did any of you have any further visions that may shed more light on this?
I know I did not have any.
I'm afraid my exhaustion ensured I had a good night's sleep.
Well, that is something. Well, we were actually scheduled to go on a hunt with the Margrave this afternoon. but I guess we should cut it short. I would hate for something to be going on at home and us being here enjoying ourselves. It wouldn't be right.
But if you don't mind, we will come back to Celene with you.
Understandable.
Yeah, I do believe you need to quietly go on alert. And I would say talking to Shira to get her wisdom and have her and the druids be prepared or at least watching and ready.
Understandable. It does make sense. So I shall let the Margrave know that we unfortunately will have to postpone our hunt. I'm sure that he will understand. Well, thank you for bringing this to light. I will talk with... I know Moorzivy's around here somewhere.
Good.
I can get his attention real quick.
I'm sure Val knows where he's at. He's probably out doing some exploring or something.
Is Val here?
Yes, Val. You saw Val was actually talking with Queen Zan and Sylvia after you pulled Yolanda away. So she says, "Well, this is good. Once we get Moorzivy, we'll have him conjure a portal, and we shall go home." Yes,
I'm going to kind of turn Val, get a shake of his hand, put my hand up and quietly to the side, and I'll do this to get him to bend over so I can whisper in his ear.
Okay, well, Val's not in the room with you. He was actually still talking with Sylvia and Zan. So you'll have to go back out to get his attention.
I will be talking with him, yes.
Okay, fine. Alrighty, so yes, you all head back out into the throng of people who have taken up space there in the throne room.
Bring back in box gone.
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that was taken care of.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to look for True Light, the Margrave. I'm going to go look for him.
Okay. Yeah. He's there talking with some of the nobles. Nobles from not Celene, but from Pellic and Bissell. So yeah, you're able to find him pretty easy.
Your Grace, could I have a few minutes?
Yeah, he says, "Oh, of course, Master Mage. What's up?"
I'm going to be leaving soon. I'm hunting.
Okay, understandable. Do we have kind of an idea when you will return, or is this an extended sabbatical?
It's not a sabbatical. I will return to Pellic. It may be a week. It may be a month. But the game is worth it.
Understandable. I trust that you know what you're doing, and I know.
Me too.
He just kind of looks at you a little funny at your laugh, and he says, "You do know what you're doing."
Most of the time, yes.
Okay.
But life is always a system of variables.
Okay.
Well,
no, I'm not trying to build confidence. I'm trying to be realistic.
When he's done talking with, actually, while he's talking, I'll go get Val's attention. And I'll just tell him, do take care. Watch your mother. She is in grave danger.
He says, I had a feeling that's why we were kind of trying to kind of get her away from the castle for a little bit. I know that your friend Vitram and his friends have been casing the castle quite regularly, looking for spies and rooting out assassins. So we were
Yes.
trying to remove Mother from the situation, so she would not get. She's been quite anxious recently, especially with the death of Melda.
Well, your mother has gone through so much loss. It's rather crazy. I feel for it. I feel for you and your family. You came to our aid. I feel a kinship with you beyond just diplomatic matters. But do take care of her. Take extreme measures if you must.
Understandable.
I'll shake his hand again, and then I'll head back to the party.
Okay. Alrighty. So, anybody else doing anything while you're here?
Master Kiffy, can I have a moment with you
Sure.
in private? So, I just kind of thing with all the talk of visions and all that stuff and what's happening has kind of gotten Kellex all preoccupied in his head. So he's going to kind of reach out to his only spiritual friend he's got in this party. Do you believe that people can come back?
Within limits, yes.
And I'll explain to when Yarn spoke of his vision, it reminded me of a vision, funny enough, I had around the same time. I was kneeling before Queen Yolanda and Melda, which hadn't happened. And then I had a visit from the Archpaladin, and I know you don't follow him all, but I think I will trust your input on this. He said something about something lost but will be found. I just assumed that maybe he was speaking of my soul, because it's right now I still feel that darkness within me, so I wasn't too sure if that's something he was referring to or not. But I'm wondering, or should I hope? Shouldn't I hope?
You should always hope. That's what gets us through each day.
No, I understand. It's just, I don't know. It's not something I've ever heard of before, people coming back from the dead before like that. After such a long time.
Well,
You live in a world of magic.
we have both of us experienced some extraordinary circumstances, so I wouldn't discount it, certainly. But you shouldn't build your entire future upon such a thought.
Agreed. I thank you. I appreciate your insight and your input. Thank you, Master Dwarf.
You're welcome.
That's all I got.
Temple?
You're muted.
That's part of the night.
I need to talk to Yarn in private.
Okay.
Private stuff going on.
Well,
All right.
they're not
Private
officers.
chatter.
I actually want to find one of the rooms.
Okay.
Like a dungeon room.
Do they have an obelisk? Please.
An oubliette. We're going to go down
Yes.
there.
I have a question for you.
I have an answer. Maybe they match.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too. I have a luck blade. My rapier. Do you think it would work if I tried to fix Felix's problem?
Circumcision.
Might not fix mine, might fix all yours.
Talking about stabbing him?
You're talking about inflicting a wound on Kellex with the luck blade.
No, I'm talking about freeing him of all of his problems. Uniting
Yes,
his...
but the process to do that would be by inflicting a wound on him with the luck blade. Yes? No? Okay.
No.
Then we're much more in alignment then here.
Destroying my sword is what I'm doing.
Uh-huh.
But using it to make him whole again. Or do I try something like bringing Melda back to life? I don't know that it would work. Would she just be a mindless zombie? I'm lost here. I don't know. Don't know the manner of her death. Maybe her soul is trapped.
At this point, I think the only way to get her back is as an undead. A zombie or skeleton or something. A rotting corpse. Animated corpse. I don't see that as a positive good. I don't understand what you're trying to do with the luck blade with Killix.
How many charges does your luck blade have, Albert?
I'm trying to unite his soul. All of that which was taken, the control this creature has over him, gone. I want him whole again. It's my friend.
Well, you're going to have to craft a really well-worded wish.
That's where I was going with that. I think wish is about it.
Well, that's the luck blade charge. So
It's a wish?
yeah.
Be very careful in crafting it.
Maybe he needs help. And you two can like go off in a private place and work out your wishes together.
You know, Ed, one day we're going to be in the same place, and I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
If I were to do that, I would ask the entire party
Right better on that one.
to be with us putting it together.
I would simply ask you to remove the malign shadow associated elements from his soul. From him and his soul.
I need to ask Kellex also, would he like that? Or is this a journey to create a better, stronger Helix? The gods are involved.
I understand that, but at this point, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's a journey. I'm seeing it as an impediment to him becoming who he needs to be.
I would recommend everybody look at how they nerfed wishes on the current version of D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Are we playing the current version of D&D?
I don't know.
'Cause I would say-
Ultimately falls to Brian.
We're
Yeah,
playing Brian's version of D&D.
yeah, which is convoluted and strange. Okay,
Compared to me,
Great place to be.
so I always, especially when it comes to wishes, I always like to go back to an earlier time. I like to believe that there are two wish types. You have a standard wish, and then you have a greater wish. The greater wish which was also very popular back in 3.5, which is just one of those weird things. Like with a luck blade, it would have just a standard wish, which could be used for sundry sort of things and stuff of that nature. If you're looking to bring either to drive the shadow demon from Calyx, or you want to bring Melda back from the dead, you're going to have to find a creature or something that has much more greater power than a luck blade. And that's where I'm leaving that.
Much more greater.
Yes.
Much more greater. I like the use of language there. Much more greater.
Yeah, sorry.
yeah, much more greater.
Every
I
once
like meat so much.
every once in a while I get I just use way too many words to say the same damn thing.
No, I like it. I think what you say.
Perfect. Perfect.
I'm from the South, and I'm specifically from Appalachia. We like to talk. Okay, so
No, it's better to get you talking than when you don't talk.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, so did that answer your question about how I see wishes?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and this is just something that's why, like with resurrection spells, it's very hard to find people who can actually do them. You can go to the gods, or you can find somebody who has, guess what? A very powerful being that can grant a wish that would be able to, bring someone either back from the grave or drive some sort of hideous curse from people. That's kind of like the like your situation with the Fey curse. Yes, Pellatrina, she could curse you. She could not remove the curse. The curse was removed from the Summer Queen. So that's a totally different thing. Curses can be bestowed, but a lot of times it takes someone extremely powerful to be able to release that type of curse. Now, cursed items are different, but we'll get into that later. Okay. Any other
I'm
thing?
sure.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Kiffy, can you do the spell remove curse?
Yes, I think I can.
Would you like to take a swing at this ring?
Let me just check here.
That's an easy spell. And while he's checking that, let me point out that currently I have a post going viral regarding George Washington that a prostitute is offering 50% off on her website if you post your CIB badge.
Okay.
I don't think any of us have a CIB. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there for YouTube viewers, man. Somebody out there might have a CIB.
I think the guy you were arguing with today does.
I don't currently have remove curse prepared.
Okay.
So
But
I can do
It's
it.
okay. The cursed item's not going anywhere.
Oh, no. You never know with Timble.
okay.
Maybe.
Yaron, do you have any means of tracing who may have put the curse on it?
Would that fall under an identify?
You wouldn't be able to tell who cast it, but you would be able to tell. But you've already used identify once to know that it's cursed. Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to tell who actually casted it. Bummer.
That would be a divination spell, wouldn't it?
Yeah, actually, you could probably use scrying upon it.
Well, I have divination.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you could definitely use divination to find more information on it.
Well, I'm going to try that as a ritual. Yay!
Okay. So your ritual takes about how long?
One action plus 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad. Okay. So, yeah, so it just takes 10 minutes for you to concentrate upon the item itself. Mm-hmm. And so what information are you trying to glean from it?
Who cast it?
Okay.
And where they cast it from.
Okay. So with a lot of these divination spells, I know that they do not, like with some, I think it was like augury or something like that. It just says, it'll tell you yes or no, if it's favorable or not favorable. I hate those types of spells because what I like to do is I'd like for you guys to have a vision of what transpired. And I'll give you an example. In a campaign that I ran probably 15 years ago, we had a cleric who asked if he stepped through this portal, using augury, would it be a favorable outcome or a unfavorable outcome? And so what I did is I like to do things like, so he cast a spell, and what I did is I gave him a vision of what would happen once he did it. And what I explained to him was that he was in this beautiful hall. There were just wonderful, there's food. The sun was shining. It was absolutely beautiful. His deity was there, communing with him. And he was like going, wow, that's really awesome. I really want to do that. He did not realize that what he was asking was that he was going to die. And so he was ready to go because he was like, oh, dude, this sounds awesome. I painted a very convincing picture, but his friends were, of course, holding him back going, God, because he's telling them, I saw this wonderful place and everybody was so happy and you guys got to come with me. And they were like, no, this is a horrible idea. So this sucks. This is a terrible. But yeah, I mean, he actually failed a wisdom save. He was ready to walk. He was like, you all need to come with me. He was like trying to convince them that you need to come with me. So what I like to do with divination spells, I like to kind of give glimpses. So what you see after you perform this divination spell, that you see kind of what Kiffy described. You see the pale, wrinkled hand grab the ring. You don't see the face of the person immediately, but you do see that it goes to a chamber that you are kind of a little familiar with because you helped search the room when Sintaisha tried to kill Yolanda. I think it was Yolanda. Yeah. It was who?
It wasn't Yolanda. It was the daughter.
It was Asenath?
Yes.
Probably. I can't remember who she was trying to. She was trying to kill a bunch of people. So what you see is this person, the pale-handed individual, takes the ring and places it upon the forehead of Asenath as she sleeps. And you see a flash of purplish silver light, and then the ring is the person takes it and turns, and as she turns, you get to see what she looks like, and you see that it is definitely Sintaisha. And as she takes the ring, you see a flash off to her right, and you see it looks like an imp, some sort of grizzled fiend looking thing, and she hands the ring to it, and you can hear "Return to the tower." And then that's it. That's all you saw. So you did get to see how it was, what the curse.
Who cast it?
Yeah, who cast it? Yeah.
Okay.
That was fun.
Well, guys, and I relate what I just saw. So, we now know we absolutely have a sorcerer. She has a familiar that's an imp. And it's supposed to be at the tower, wherever the tower is, because where we found it was not a tower.
The tower
Maybe
in the
referring to the tower where she's staying. Wasn't that in some desert?
It's the tower in the bright, what is it, bright desert. So,
Shit.
I can cast this again.
Kiffy, do you
No,
have a
I'll wait
means?
till tomorrow. I'll wait till tomorrow.
If you do,
I want a
do you
25
have a means of maybe trying to help us identify where this tower might be located?
Well,
And he's just looking at the kind of the bigger spellcasters in the group. So
What about Tomas actually using like history or something? Maybe knowing where this tower is based off of the description and the surrounding area.
Well,
What exactly do we know about this tower? We know it's in the bright desert.
yeah, and that's
We know
and,
Aisha's there.
yeah, and
there's a storm that's around it or something.
And actually, you had used history in the past to get the information that it was in the desert. So,
I don't know shit about that tower.
right.
so you, just out of character, Pav had asked if Kiffy had commune. That just gives you 3 yes/no questions that you have to ask within 1 minute. I'm not sure how much help that would be in pinpointing the exact location of the tower.
Well,
Unless we have some kind of general idea of its
after our next long rest, I can cast it again and find out, specifically ask, where is the Tower of Sintaisha? So, or where is the tower that Sintaisha, the daughter of Yolanda, reside? No, don't want to use resides. Visits on a other than Evanstad. This is like a damn wish. Oh. All right. So we know more now. So I think our focus should be on finding Sintaisha, removing her from the equation, and then going and removing whatever curse is on younger sister.
before or
Affirmation?
after the tree.
Yes, because I think this is all tick 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 tick.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, not too long after your discussion, you see the Queen and Moore's Ivy sort of step back into the area, and they approach. Moore's Ivy, of course, greets everyone warmly and says, "Well, if you all are ready to head back, I believe we can open a portal in the courtyard, and we shall return.
I'm going to walk up to Kellex and get his attention. I wish there was more that I could do. But if you must walk this journey, I will walk it with you.
Don't think there would be any others I would rather have walk with me on this path.
All right, let's get beer.
And he walked with me and he talked with me.
Just so random.
Like I said, it's a pinball machine. You never know where it's going to go.
Okay.
All right. That gave us that.
So, yes, you all meet out in the courtyard. You see Moore's Ivy cast the spell, the portal opens, and everyone's stepping through?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So, yes, once again, you find yourself standing in the courtyard in the castle in Instead. You see that as soon as you appear, of course, guards are present. They see the queen. They, of course, show respect in that regard. But one person who does show, who is standing there waiting, is Shira, the Queen Mother. And she walks over immediately, getting Yolanda's attention, and whispers into her ear something. Of course, if you, being that everybody is so close, if you would like to make a perception check, you can hear what she said.
Nope.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Lots of blooping.
Bloopity bloop.
Okay.
Kellex is on this plane of existence.
I like Kiffy. He's just so not bothered.
We're back in Elfland again. Jeez.
Dang elves.
You know, Kiffy, it's like an infection.
Yeah.
Anytime the dwarves are ever going to have an ambassador to the elves, you know who they're going to pick.
Pretty much. Okay. So, Timble, Grinna, Yarn, as you all are standing nearby, you were able to hear pretty clearly that Shira says to Yolanda that we have a problem. We need to see Asenath immediately. I've already called a couple of clerics to look in on her. We can't get her to wake up.
Hold. I know what this is.
They all turn and look at you, puzzled.
I gained some information just recently. The ring that's cursed, and I'm sure Shira looks at me like, what? The ring that's cursed, I'll explain in a minute. When it was cursed, it was placed upon Asenath's forehead. So, the issue is, and this was done by Sintaisha. So the issue is, we are looking for Sintaisha. We know she's in the Bright Desert. We know she has a tower. Past that, we have no information, but we're working.
So Shira looks at you and says, "Oh, then it would probably be wise that you check the Royal Library for anything that might hint at the location of that tower."
Indeed.
The ring, you have this ring?
I have it available.
Okay. Is this...
I have it in an extra dimensional space.
Understandable. Okay. So everybody turns and starts to make their way into the castle to Asenath's room. When they open the door, you can see that there are guards posted inside and out. They immediately leave the room as the Queen Mother, and Val and the rest of you file in. Yolanda immediately goes over to the bedside and tries to rouse Asenath, but you can see that the princess is unresponsive. She is breathing. It's very shallow. And she immediately turns, tears in her eyes, and looks at Shira and says, "This is exactly the same spell that Santasha was under when she was taken from us so long ago. It's the same type." And you see Shira just confirm that, yes, it's the same. She says, "So we must find Santasha. It's the only way to free." And you see that she pulls a chair over and sets it next to Asenath's bed. And she's just holding the young princess's hand. So Shira looks at you all and says, "Well, let's go to the library. Most likely, if we can find anything, it will be there. Maybe there is some historical documents or some ancient tome that might shed some light on this tower in the Bright Lands."
The Bright Desert.
Understandable. Okay, let's go. So
I think it's
yeah, she takes it now. Grenna, you have been to this library before. Actually, this is where you were first kind of introduced to your Fae self.
Okay.
There were, books and things like that on the Fae realms, but you did not really go into the deep history sections. You were kind of more hanging out in the restricted stacks area.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So, as everybody gets down there, so you can, what we'll do is we'll do investigation checks. You can make 3 investigation checks per person. You must beat a 25.
Oh.
So, Grenna, that was your first one. Can you give me 2 more?
I'm working on it.
Okay. Okay, so
Look, we have books.
So
Lots and
Grenna,
lots of
yeah. So Grenna, you didn't have much luck. Temple, you were able to find a tome that has some information on the Bright Desert itself, but you did not really find anything that mentioned the tower. Let's see, who else? Got a couple of more.
Tomas out of 25.
Okay. So Tomas, you were able to find something about a storm that is in the center of the Bright Desert, which lies between the ruins of the Zokal and it's to the east of the Zokal, but it lies between the 2 oases, the one named Koln and the other one named Var.
And what type of storm is it?
It is a sandstorm. It is a perpetual sandstorm. Okay.
Well, if anything screamed D&D adventurers go there, that says a perpetual sandstorm.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Did everybody else? I think that was everybody's rolls.
Is that 3 or just 1?
Possibility of
3.
success.
You got
So I didn't
3.
roll.
If he has no possibility.
If
You
he
have a
just
chance of a 20.
doesn't care.
What if he has a chance at a nat 20?
A nat 20 will count.
Yep. I have no luck whatsoever.
Yeah, Kellix is over in the periodical section. He's in better gnomes and gardens.
Oh,
No natural 20s.
No. Okay. So that is what you were able to find. You were able to find a little bit about the desert itself, but then of course the big one was the perpetual sandstorm, which is kind of interesting.
I've been into many. They no. Gonna have to get some gear if we go there.
Looking in the free to mingle section of the undead romance section. Jeez. Nice going, Grana.
Yarn, is there any representatives of the Brightlands in your conclave?
Do what?
Is there any representatives of the Brightlands in your conclave?
I'm not sure.
You've never actually met anyone there, maybe, but you've actually never met someone from the Empire of the Brightlands.
I do know that many of the inhabitants of them and I share a racial background. They're Sul,
Yes.
which means they burn like shit in the sun. And I can speak that, so if we go there, we have some way of communicating. I don't know, guys.
Are we going there?
We're going there.
We don't know exactly where we need to go. That's the problem, though, right?
Yes, but if we get close, they're going to know where the fucking sandstorm is.
Need some gear.
Yeah, we need gear. I got a big floppy hat, but that'll help.
I thought you were a hood and robe wizard.
Okay. I do have a big floppy hat.
He has a small floppy what?
I have a big floppy hat. I'm not into microbiology like you are.
Brian, I would like to get goggles.
Okay.
I will test them and make sure that they fit me really well.
Okay. So to find a lot of these things, you don't really have a place here in Instead that has traveling gear. Most likely, and this would probably be a place that you would be able to find all of the equipment that you need, would be the Revo brothers in Greyhawk.
They may have documentation of where we need to go.
They may actually have a lot more information. You know how they are. You know how they are.
All right, guys.
We can't go there.
Why not?
Tomas has been asking to go Greyhawk for quite some time, and I've been subsequently ignored.
Well, it wasn't because of the Greyhawk thing that you were being ignored.
It's because you're Ed.
Okay. Long rest, divination, go to Greyhawk. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yes?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, but we have to have a stop by the Revo brothers.
Yeah, that's Greyhawk.
No, I'm making sure that is put in our itinerary for specifically stopping to see them.
Okay. Well, that was the intent of going to Greyhawk. Going to check to see about
a turkey sandwich or whatever.
Well, yeah, a turkey sandwich is always a showstopper. So
there's pizza.
Okay, so so your plan is to go to Greyhawk. Are you just going to portal into Yarn's office? What is the plan?
Yeah, we're going to spend the night in Evastat.
Okay,
Long rest.
okay, that's a good idea.
In the morning, I'm going to do the divinate. Yeah, I need spell slots. In the morning, I'm going to do the divination to see if we can find out where the tower is through that method, and then portal into my office, go to the Revo brothers, go look at the pizza, then come back through the office and come back and figure out what we need to do. Is that clear? Is that good? Everybody agree with that? Holy shit, I have one person agreeing.
It was the DM.
No, Kiffy. It was Kiffy.
It was Kiffy. That's good.
I'm just along for the ride.
All right. So, long rest.
Like it.
Spell slot. Where is it?
Do I get spell slots with his crank?
What?
One more than you started with.
Okay, so yeah, you all are able to rest pretty easy through the night. Kellex, though, you have a nocturnal visitor as you sleep in your chamber. You wake, probably, from what you can tell, it's right after probably the second bell in the evening. And as your eyes just kind of slowly flutter open, you see what can only be it looks to be a ghostly figure standing at the foot of your bed. It is bright.
I recognize the thing. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess I'm startled. First of all, someone's in my room.
Yeah, you are startled. The light that is being put off is kind of a lightish, a light greenish glow. But the ghost that stands before you is
My sword.
I mean, but it doesn't look as though it is trying to harm you. But you're fully awake now, and you do realize that it is truly an apparition that you are seeing, but it is Melda's ghost. And she stands there just staring at you. Her eyes are what you remember. They're very kindly. Her face is, of course, being in a ghostly appearance, she's extremely pale. She does not move to touch you or try to engage with you in any way. She doesn't speak. And she just stays there for probably about a good 3 minutes. Just staring.
No, it can't be you. Is it really you?
As you're talking with her, you can feel that the warmth in the room is being kind of it's starting to get colder in the room. You're kind of thinking that maybe give me a let me see, what would that be? Give me a religion check.
Yeah, hold on.
Just a religion. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you just feel that the room is getting cold.
My rolls.
Yeah, the room is getting cold, and as it gets to a point where you can actually see your breath, she says, she says to you, and she says, where I see that there was a ring for me, I wished I could have worn it for you. And as she says these words, she fades from view.
I try reaching for.
Yeah, you reach out just as she's, and your hand just kind of goes through. But once it goes through, you realize that it's warm. It's like she was pulling all the warmth out of the room to herself to be able to say those words. And as soon as she's gone, the room once again, the temperature evens out. And you're left there just holding on to thin air. Just onto the air. The sword that is sitting by your side reaches out to your mind and says, Master Calyx, I know that you are aggrieved terribly by what you have seen, but trust in the Archpaladin. There will come a day that you will have what was lost is returned. And it falls silent. Okay.
Fear tells us across the cheek.
Okay. The rest of you, Kiffy, you did not dream of anything strange that night. Oops, somebody's camera is having issues. Oh, that's weird. Temple? We lost Temple. Okay. So what happened was, Kiffy, you didn't dream of anything extremely noteworthy. Tomas, you had dreams, but they were of Greyhawk and just excitement welling up that you were actually going to get a chance to go when it looked as though all hope was lost and you were not going to be able to get to go to Greyhawk. It was almost kind of hard for you to get to sleep, but you finally did fall asleep, and all you could think about, your dreams were just filled of Greyhawk and the possibility of seeing your family. Grenna.
Is that the?
Uh-huh.
Is that the drug-induced dream produced by the fungal people?
Yep.
Rather.
Cool. Okay. So, Grenna, you once again, you have the same dream as you did the night before. It's still just as vivid as the other night, and once again you wake up in that cold sweat, just feeling terrible, that there is something that's definitely not right. And then Temple, then Temple, then Yarn. Temple,
I'm here.
You have a dream as well, and you see a dirty, dilapidated village, a little seaside hamlet that the people just look downtrodden, and it reminds you of what you saw in the prophecy orb. But the one thing that draws your attention is there is someone hiding on the top of a roof, and just as you the dream shifts, you see two arrows fly from the roof, and both of them strike you. These dark shaft arrows, and right before you wake, you see it's like you're looking down on your body as it's laying on the ground. Your friends are surrounding you. Princess Asenath is there holding your hand as you see like you're kind of floating above your body. And that's when you wake up. So, Yarn, you were once again visited by the dream that you had in Kodal Keep. The one with the storm and the sea and the ship and the sea monster that you're not really too sure of.
Cthulhu.
Yeah. Roll sanity. Good luck.
I fail.
You roll. Yeah, you fail your sanity roll and lose your shit. Oh well. I mean, that can happen. Alrighty. So you wake. You rise. You take breakfast with the Queen and Val and Shara and Amor's Ivy in the garden. They ask you your plans. You kind of tell them what you have in store. So the Queen says, well, good luck. Again, thank you so much for everything that you've done. I will probably be spending most of the day with Asenath trying to see if there's anything that we can do to break this curse, this horrible spell that's put upon her. And we hope that she does not turn out to be what Sentisha turned into. And
Indeed.
And she leaves it at that. Val walks you guys out over to the courtyard, where I guess you're going to be using your portal spell to take you to your office.
Gotta do the divination first.
The what? Oh, you're going to do divination again? Okay,
yep.
Cool. All right, so are you going to do it in front of the Queen, or are you going to do it away from them?
I can. I don't have it. I'm not hiding anything. Yeah, I'll do it in front of the Queen. And let's see. I put it into there. There we go. Single question concerning specific. Okay. Where will we find the tower in the bright desert that is associated with Sentisha?
Okay. So, are you looking for a specific? Is it supposed to give you an answer, or can I give you?
Yes, I'm looking for an address.
Oh, okay. You're looking for an address. Okay. Is there a percentile that needs to be met? Okay, cool. Good.
And it must be a true answer.
Okay, very, very good. Okay, so as I like to do, I like to give glimpses of things. And so what it is it looks as though you are standing at the edge of it's a rolling dunes. And as you're standing on these dunes, in the distance, you just see this just unbelievably turbulent sandstorm that is not blowing in at, like moving east to west or north to south. It's like a tornadic activity. Mm-hmm. And that is the answer you get. But I need you to make a perception check. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So as you're viewing this just terrible storm, and you can hear the wind, and you can feel a little bit of this wind as it buffets you, the sand is being kicked up, but every once in a while you see that something breaks the surface of the sand around inside of this tornadic activity. Like there is some sort of creature or creatures that are traveling beneath the soil or the sand.
Okay, so we need flying carpets.
Well, most likely it would probably be, from what you can tell, look like it would be extremely hazardous to fly into the sandstorm itself.
Yeah.
That you would have
to. Would it be hazardous to fly over in an air balloon?
Especially with it using natural gas as the motivating factor. Yeah.
And
we call those fireworks where I'm from.
And that's how the campaign finished. with a Hindenburg disaster.
Oh, the dwarf manatee.
Dwarf manatee. I like it. That's
All
pretty
right.
good.
Okay. Off to Greyhawk.
Off to Greyhawk. Okay. Cool. So
Do you explain your vision to us?
Oh yeah. As I'm doing it, I'm reciting what I see. So.
So it's tornadic like.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's like
So-
it's like an F5 that just won't stop.
It's like a big stovepipe just standing there.
For the record, helium is harvested at the same time as nitrogen, methane, and other hydrocarbons. So there could be non-volatile gases there.
Could be.
But this is Brian's world. So no.
Zap!
Every-
Zap!
Everything
Zap!
everything is methane or hydrogen.
Okay. Off to Greyhawk.
Okay.
Zoom!
So yes, you all step into the portal, and as you do so, you immediately appear in Yarn's office. Ta-da!
All right.
And
All right, let's go, guys. We go downstairs. I stop at the information desk.
okay.
I say, look, I'm looking for this particular weather phenomenon. Do we have any information on it?
They look at you and says, "Well, Master Yarn, we could check the archives for you. But like I said,
Please do.
they are mostly apprentices that are, have like part-time jobs working the kiosk. So, it's not like you have master mages working a kiosk.
Of course. Apprentices are much more
bullshit.
fun.
Yeah. So, yeah. So
It's like, if y'all can find me information on this that's accurate, I will teach you each cantrip.
The Revo brothers are the way to go.
Yes, I know, but I'm also spreading the wealth, gaining fame, because I promised them to teach them a cantrip if they got me the information. That will ensure good service anytime in the future.
You may also want to see if there is a representative of the Brightlands here.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah, they can also try to find, some more information about that as well. But so you're going to head to where off to next?
The Revo brothers.
Revo Brothers. Okay, cool. So yeah, as you step outside of the Crystal Citadel, you of course go by the Talon and Turkey kiosk. You see that there is a long line of people who are waiting, and you definitely smell the turkey sandwiches. But there is a new smell on the air today, and that is of the smell of fresh baked bread and cheese and other strange sort of concoctions, spices that you may or may not be aware of. But you, of course, don't have time. So,
Actually, Lord Ambassador Tomas Waverly goes over and has a slight interaction really quickly at the stand.
okay, cool. Alrighty. Is this
Already run?
a rerun? Yeah. Okay. So you're over there chatting with Erica, who is the very attractive proprietor of the Talon and Turkey sandwich kiosk. Yeah. So you see, he kind of just breaks off from you guys real quick. You can either continue on or you can wait for him. You see that he has a brief conversation with some youths there, as well as a strange hooded man who also makes an appearance. You're not familiar with any of these people, but you have in the past talked with Erica, the proprietor of the Talon and Turkey kiosk. So the rest, you guys are heading off.
Yep.
Okay.
Back to the Revo brothers.
Revo Brothers. So yeah.
I think we should wait. And can you get some more disciples to come here?
Disciples?
Yeah, or these guys that you keep dumping shit on.
The apprentices?
Oh, apprentices.
Disciples.
Why don't you go ahead and have one of them pick up a full order for us? We're
'Cause
gonna need.
we've already left the information desk and we're wandering around Greyhawk now.
Yeah, you're outside.
The question: Can you find one and have one do it? Are you able to get one?
I wouldn't know how to identify them. But we can pick up a pizza on the way back.
I want both.
I think Ambassador Tomas, Lord Ambassador Tomas Waverly, is as now an investor in DiGiorno. It probably has a few that he could probably disseminate amongst the party.
Can we get some turkey sandwiches too?
Oh, of course. Of course you can get
You don't trust my
sandwich.
pizza?
I'm hungry. I would like both. Is one of your pizzas got turkey on it? Their turkey?
Possibly.
Got some jerky turkey.
Turkey jerky?
I don't want anything that I eat flatbread with. I think I'm hungry. I would like them both. It's that simple. Someone could make it happen right here so that on our way back from the Revo brothers, we would just pick something up and keep going.
Concept is it's traveling rations and it opens up and it heats up for you on the road.
If it
Can
doesn't
it do that with turkey sandwiches?
if it doesn't turn into a mimic and eat you first. Okay, so we're going to Revo Brothers, right? Cool. Okay, so finally you make your way to the Revo Brothers, and you can see that of course the shop is open. Anton and Clarence are inside. Looks like they're restocking shelves for some of the being that for the season, they have the different items that they bring in every so often, and as soon as you hear the bell ring over the door when you come in, their heads swivel towards you and they're like, "Oh, our friends are back." So Anton and Clarence run over and says, "Oh, it's been so long since we've seen you. We thought that you had given up the adventuring life and decided to settle down."
Nothing ill has transpired yet.
Oh, well, then you're looking for knowledge, looking for equipment?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, Clarence says, he takes out a small tablet, like a small paper book, and he takes out a pencil and he says, "What is it that you need? I will make a list."
I would like one. I need goggles. I would like a very, the leather helms you just put over. They're not very well padded. It's usually used as a liner for something heavier.
Okay.
It comes down, and I need something like that. Even though the sand is going to get in there, I'd rather.
So at the mention of sand, Anton says, "Oh, you're going to a desert?"
We're going into the Brightlands.
Ooh.
Bright desert.
Well, that's interesting.
In fact, we were wondering, have you heard of a perpetual storm in the Bright Desert?
They both look at each other, Anton and Clarence, and said, and then look back at you and said, "Well, yeah, of course. Yes, that is the great storm that is just south of the Culm Oasis."
Would you happen to have a way to get to, I mean, path to get to that said oasis?
I do. We have a balloon.
The oasis is still, even if you traveled there, it is still probably a good day and a half to get to the storm itself. We have no way of getting there. I believe the last time that I was there was close to 20 years ago. And he looks over, Anton looks over at Clarence, and Clarence says, I remember seeing it from the South Oasis, but that has been some time. Most likely, it would probably be easier if you have a way of being able to fly there. You, of course, would have to stop before you get to the storm. Flying creatures do not do very well inside of the storm itself. But you can, and he said, but also be warned, there are gigantic worms that live beneath the sand. They can be quite treacherous and quite deadly, so take into account. If you must go into the storm, just be very, very careful of them.
Great Dune! Woo!
So,
I'm sorry, Brian. What was the name of the oasis?
There are two oases. There's a North Oasis, which is called the Kolm, the Kolumn, and then there's one to the south called the Var Oasis. And they break out a map and kind of show you, if you end up going over to your Greyhawk maps and looking at the Bright Desert, you'll see that there are two oases in the center of the map. And one is the Calm and the other one is the Var. And the storm is centered between both of those oases.
Damn,
I have no idea where you guys are looking at.
Okay,
I'm pulling it up now.
If you go to the Anna Myers map.
Yep.
I've been, yeah.
Okay, so if you find Celene and you go directly east, you will see the desert there. So go from Celene, go across the Woolly Bay, which is that body of water between Celene and the Bright Lands, where it says Empire of the Bright Lands, which is the Bright Desert. So
That is the Bright Desert.
Yep.
The map I have does not have any oases.
Oh. I'm just using the greyhawkonline.com map.
Oh, okay.
That's the same one I'm using. It's right there.
Oh, did you find it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, we deviated from the Anna B. Meyer. Sorry.
Heresy.
How dare you?
Yeah,
And now all this clicking here is creating more traffic than this site's ever generated in 15 seconds.
Yours is slow too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So
while it's loading, I just created a new domain name, so just work with that, guys.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so is there anybody else who wants equipment? I know that Timble got a pair of goggles and a kind of a leather skull cap sort of thing or whatever to protect your head.
Well, since the brothers have been there, I'm going to ask them, what do you recommend?
I said, if you happen to know of a way of being able to port to one of the cities inside the Brightlands, you can. Or most likely it would probably be easier if there is a way that you can fly there. You would get pretty close.
And Brian, I just want to make sure our dragon friend has pretty much blocked our communications, right?
You haven't really tried to reach out to her. Remember, you still have the ability to contact her, but you haven't really seen a reason to. You kind of figure that most likely she is extremely busy with her one offspring, so you've been kind of respectful in that regard. But yeah.
Well, we could contact, but I do ask the brothers. Besides the goggles, is there any equipment you might recommend? I mean, I've never been to a demo.
They were like, yes. Most likely, it would probably be very good if you have something to cover your nose and mouth. The sand will, especially the way that this storm is, it will clog your nose and mouth very, very quickly. The goggles will definitely help you see, but if you cannot breathe, then you will not last long. So they break out these sort of handkerchief-looking things. They're much longer.
They're a shimo.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, shimons, yeah. So yeah, they fashion them and show you how to actually wear them, because they've been to the desert before, and they're going, okay, so this is the way you would want to wear it, desert fashion. So
what was the name of the Oasis again, Brian?
the Oasis, there are two. One is the Calm, the Kolumn Oasis, and then there's one to the south called the VAR, VAR.
Got it.
Uh-huh.
All right, dropping this image into the chat for everybody.
Oh boy.
No, I just pulled it up so everybody can see it. It's
okay.
There you go.
All right.
Better map. I got an old hex map in there, so
cool. Okay. So
those are 30-mile hexes.
So
all right.
Okay, so with the the equipment that you are purchasing, is there anything else that you would want?
What type of creatures have you encountered there in the Bright Desert? Since you've both been there.
Yeah. So they said there are many creatures that live beneath the sand. There are large scorpions. There are gigantic snakes that can also be quite troublesome. Poisonous creatures. Not a lot of flying creatures, so that's one thing that you don't have to worry too much about. It has been reported in the past that manticore have been seen in the ruins near the Zokal and the ruins of Ata. So make sure that if you stray near those areas, please be very, very careful. The manticore can be quite dangerous. We've never heard of reports or have seen any dragons in that area, primarily because of the sandstorms. The worms that live within the sandstorm actually are a part of the storm system themselves. The rotations and the way that they move through the desert actually are the things that kicking up the sand into the air. And because of their great size, they are what we believe primarily the reason that the storm exists.
Are you familiar with any towers other than? I mean, it's between the column and the bar. Are there any towers that used to be in the area or still might be in the area?
There are plenty of ancient ruins. There is a very, very good chance that within the storm itself there may be something, but we have Anton looks over at Clarence and says, have you ever seen anything? And he says no. The closest they both had ever been was the edge of the storm, where they were able to see the worms. You can't see into the storm very well, so they never ventured that far in. They didn't go into the center.
Do you have any writings on people that went into the storm?
It said that
and survived.
they said there have been others that have attempted. There are caravans that had entered the storm thinking that they could, go through it, but they never came out.
Okay.
It's very treacherous.
Since you've dealt with some of the creatures there, do you have any of the perhaps any suggestions for anecdotes for the various poisons that these creatures might have?
It said yes. We do have salves and potions that you can definitely take with you that will help. Especially the large poisonous vipers that live there, as also with the scorpions. We do have anti-venoms and things of that nature that you can take with you. Magical. And as they're piling all this stuff up on the counter, you can see that is there anything else that you might want?
A couple of hirelings.
I'm assuming that it's a desert, so it's going to be very hot. Do you have anything that might protect us, especially of those of us wearing armor?
He said most likely the best thing that we can provide for you is capes and robes to put over your armor to help cut down on the heat that is generated on the surface. At night, though, you will definitely, if you happen to be there at night, you'll definitely want something to bundle up with because the temperatures drop significantly at night.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about is the wrap and the wrapping. That's what I want.
Okay.
Throw that up, curl up in it when it's sleepy time.
Yeah. So is there anything else as they're sitting there piling things up on the counter? And they've gotten enough stuff for everybody to have at least one of each item, like a pair of goggles, the face wraps, some cloaks and cold weather gear.
I didn't know the Revoke brothers were CIF.
Yeah, the only thing is you don't turn your stuff in here. You just keep it because you paid for it already.
I guess that's a good question. The price.
Actually, Tomas takes out a scroll, starts writing something. It's basically an introduction to his brother and father, to the Revoke brothers, to allow them to look into the gas and the holdings of the gas holdings of the yeomanry.
Oh, okay.
As an exchange for their help with us, I'd like them to, as scientists and explorers of the realm, and the help they've given us, I'd like them to understand what the Waverly family is doing in this field.
Okay. They take it. They look over and says, "Wow, this is very interesting." But you can still see that they're scribbling on the tablet, and eventually they said, "Well, being that you all have always been very good friends to us, we of course are going to cut you a very generous break for everything here on the counter. It'll only be 25 gold pieces."
I'm not paying that shit. Fuck, man. These get price gouging. What the hell, man?
I understand cutting deals, but that seems to cut to your bone. What am I missing here?
Oh, I'm sure they want a written experience on what it was like and what we found and all those things. To which I hand them my copy of my diary I kept while we were going through the Feywild.
Oh, okay. So they're going through it like they're looking in because you actually took some time to write up everything, even make some small sketches and things, and they're very, very excited about that. And
tell me when they get to the mushroom.
So they
get to the mushrooms and look at it.
they take a look and see, this wonderful piece of information. And Anton says, well, brother, I mean, they did bring us this very well written diary. We should cut them a further break. And so they ended up giving you everything on the counter for free because of Grenna's very generous account of her time in the Feywild.
Oh,
Very cool.
Cool. I don't
All righty.
What would you recommend for traveling food?
Well, of course, we have standard rations, trail. I would say trail would probably be your best bet.
All right. I think we're going to need some more of that.
Okay. So, yeah. So, anything else?
I think we got it.
Okay. So yeah, they bundle all this stuff up into a sack for you and everything, or you of course you can take it and break it down and distribute it amongst yourselves at when you get ready to leave. As they wish you the best of luck and thank Grenna again for her wonderful addition to their library of information. And they also write in there that they plan on making a copy of it so they can return the original to you, and so they can make a booklet out of it. And of course, you are now going to be a published author.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
you
will
the first copy and give it to them.
Yeah. So actually, though, they write up a contract with you, Grenna, and that you will get a 20% of any purchases made from your book.
Yeah, I was just going to give it to him, but okay.
Yeah. They're business people. Alrighty. So,
Alrighty.
Okay. So
Let's go to the magic item mark.
Okay. So it's getting close to closing up shop time. So I think we're going to say we'll bring it to a close for tonight right here. We still got 4 minutes.
I'm just going to point out, I'm just going to say fuck you for bringing a bunch of people that have been to the desert back to the desert, because we all vowed never to go back to the desert. So thank you.
You're welcome. I try to help. So, yeah. So for people watching on YouTube, thank you all very much. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you would feel so inclined. Make sure to also check us out on our podcast. Just look up the Mystic Syndicate. It is over on iTunes and Spotify. So check us out. Follow us over there as well. Leave a comment. That would be very kind. And we will be picking this up again, hopefully next Thursday at the same time, or we might be doing Ed's game. It really kind of depends on how things work. So everybody
Brian, for the record,
yes.
I'm hoping to do my game on Tuesday.
On when?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, so so next Tuesday, check in with us again. We'll be doing this again, but Ed will be running the show, and I will get to play Garen Mouse Thistlemore.
Oh.
Master of the longbow.
I don't know about master, but
well, you can ask that mimic. I was putting arrows in that little bastard.
And we're 13-year-olds, but we think we're master.
You make.
Yeah. So everybody have a good evening. Thanks again for hanging out with us. Players, thank you guys for showing up this evening and playing. And so from what I gather, next week we will be, or the next time we play, we'll be heading to the Bright Desert to see what is inside the storm. All right.
Thank you, Brian.
Have a
As
good
always.
night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.